back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for the 29th of March. I don't know how I managed to lose the month already. 29th of March. We are going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, we'll pull one card for each sign and see how those energies blend together to see what our prediction is for each sign as we work our way through the day. Overall energy is showing up as, let's see here, what is this? Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, Seven of Swords in reverse can mean a couple of things for me as a reader. Um, so one of the things that the Seven of Swords in reverse can mean is it can talk about this idea that there's a situation that we've walked away from in the past. And as we walked away from it, we tried to keep that kind of a quiet walk away. We didn't make a big scene about it. We just kind of kept it on the lowdown as we walked away from that situation. Not really trying to burn any bridges, just trying to keep it quiet, quiet, unnoticed walk away. Okay. Now, when this card comes up in reverse, then it can talk about the idea of trying to come back into that situation, sort of coming in the side door, not making any big announcement about the idea of coming back either. Either way, not trying to make a whole lot of noise. Okay. So it can be talking about a situation like that where we're trying to come back to something that we exited quietly previously. And the other way that it can come out for me is it can talk about this idea that we've made a strategy or we have made a plan, and now that plan, something about that plan has sort of come apart, or we've realized that it's faulty, and now we're going back to the drawing board to recreate a new strategy to accomplish the same thing that the old strategy was hopefully going to accomplish, and something blew up on it. Okay, so excuse me, it can come in either one of those ways here. And we're going to see a little bit more about that as we look at cards for each sign. So let's see here. Aries. We're starting off with Justice coming up in reverse. So, Aries, I do think there's somebody around you who has made some kind of decision that really was not based on fairness. It was corrupt in some way. Maybe they didn't have all the information. Maybe they really didn't understand. Maybe they were biased. But there's a decision here that influences your life that's been made in an unfair type of way. So, for me, Aries, I think this overall energy talks about going back to the drawing board and making a new strategy. This is obviously changing things for you. And so you're going to have to change how you're going about accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. So that's what we see you doing, just redoing a strategy, accommodating for this decision that was made that was not such a fair one. Okay. Next up, we're looking at Taurus, Ace of Wands coming up in reverse. Taurus, for you, I think what's happening is you're trying to walk into a situation that you had walked away from before. And I think that you're feeling really kind of less enthusiastic about it than anything else. It looks to me like you feel like you need to do this. This is not a want. This is something that you kind of need to do, but it's not exactly thrilling you. And you're not feeling very enthusiastic about it. You're doing it because you feel like you have to. All right, next let's look at, who are we looking at next? Gemini. Four of Wands coming up in reverse, Geminis. Boop ba da doo doo. Geminis, you may be making some new plans about doing some type of travel or even moving homes. You may be kind of back to the drawing board on the strategy about moving or traveling. For some of you, too, you may be thinking about um, going back into a situation that kept you away from home more than what you would like. You may be considering that too for some of you. All right, that's going to play out. I think there's going to be people that catch each one of those meanings, uh, separate. So some people will catch one version of that, some people will catch another, and some people will catch another. I don't think anybody's going to get all of these meanings at the same time. So, anyway, lots of storylines for you, Geminis. Cancer. Boop, ba-da-do-do-do-do. Knave of Chalices coming in here. Ba-ba, in reverse. This is interesting, Cancers. I think that you've been feeling a little bit pessimistic about people or about relationships, perhaps. And I think that something is happening to make you rethink that, to make you rethink your position on the idea of are people good or not, or are dogs better? Or maybe it's just about romantic relationships, but you're getting some kind of surprise here that's allowing you to rethink that a little bit. All right, next up, we're looking at Leos. Leo. Okay, so for Leos, we have the Five of Swords showing up here. Ba-ba-da-da, ba- Leos, I think that you did have some kind of plan about moving forward, and I think that that plan has run into a lot of resistance. And on this card, our Five of Swords guy, even though he might be the winner, he looks exhausted. He's leaning against a tree trying to sleep for Pete's sake. So I think that you're probably like redoing your plan, going back to the drawing board on strategy about how to accomplish what you want to accomplish so that maybe you're not in so much conflict with the people in your environment. Next up, we're looking at Virgo. Okay, Virgos, the Sun card showing up here. Ba-ba-da-da. Virgos, once again, I think you are redoing some kind of plan, back to the drawing board with some kind of plan or strategy. And I think that you are because there's been some kind of, at first I was going to say some kind of truth that has come out, but I think it's more than that. It feels like there's more details to it than that. This is something that has come up that is really positive and really good. And I think it propels you forward faster than you had necessarily planned. And so you're going back to the drawing board to accommodate and adjust um, for those things. That's pretty cool. That's who Virgo. Yes. Next up, we're looking at Libra. All right, Libras. What do we have? The World card showing up in reverse. So Libras, this is pretty simple actually. It just says that whatever the target or goal was that you had strategized towards getting to before, you've realized now that that's close to the ideal, but it's not exactly what you want. And so you're going back to the drawing board to come up with a new plan to get exactly what you want. Next up, we're looking at Scorpios. Death card. This is our card, and the Major Arcana talks about Scorpios. It's associated with us. So for us, whenever this card comes in, I think it's a little bit, I don't know that it is a little bit less loud, so to speak, in the energy as for other signs, but I think that because we are ruled by Pluto and we operate in this energy on the normal way, I think that we are less, this energy throws us a little bit less. Like we can operate in this much more easily than other signs. So when we have the death card coming in, it does talk about this idea that there are some changes happening, and these are profound changes that are happening. And so, of course, we're going to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new plan or a new strategy, to so that we can still reach the goals that we have in mind, but just also taking into account the changes that have happened along the way so that we can still get there. Next up, we're looking at Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Eight of Swords coming up in reverse. Sagittarius, I think you are going back to something that you left on the down low before. And I think you are because you're realizing that whenever you left it before, um, it felt like the right thing to do. But as you've gotten different perspectives and you're looking at this thing through a different lens, you're realizing that, um, that might have actually been much better than I gave it credit for. I think I'm going to go back and try that. So something that you left on the down low, you're going back in to give it another shot and see how that works out. Next up, we have Capricorn. Capricorn. Three of Swords showing up in reverse. This talks about the idea of that there has been something that was really bothering you or weighing you down emotionally, some kind of heartache or heartbreak, and you're seeing that there's some healing coming in from that. Maybe that's closure, Maybe that's two people sitting down and talking things over. Either way, we do see some healing coming in from that. And we see that that is causing you to go back to the drawing board and re strategize some things so that you can move this thing forward even more so. Next up, we're looking at Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, Three of Wands showing up in reverse. You may have had plans for the day, Aquarius, but those they are a changing. The plans they are a changing. Okay, so you are changing some kind of plans and you are going back to the drawing board, but I would not expect that you're putting very much planning into the new plans. This Three of Wands in reverse for me is being very much in the moment, being spontaneous. What makes sense to be getting accomplished now, or what makes sense as to our destination now? So I don't really see a whole lot of planning in here, although there is that implication of going back to the drawing board. I do really feel like there are some changes being made to plans for sure. Maybe travel plans. A lot of times that's associated with the ones, but also this could be really any other plans as well. So I think you should expect to be quick on your feet and pivot on whatever it is that you have planned out for today. All right, so that was Aquarius. Next up, we're looking at Pisces. Pisces, Queen of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Is this guy? Oh. Queen of Pentacles showing up in reverse along with our Seven of Swords in reverse. What's going on here? Pisces, it feels to me like you want to help uplift or encourage somebody in your sphere of influence. However, they're not very receptive to that. And I think that has you going back to the drawing board as to what am I going to do with these resources? If I want to help and uplift and encourage somebody, I want to find somebody who's receptive, open and receptive to that help. And so you're going back to the drawing board to figure out how you can share your resources, how you can share your help with somebody who's actually receptive to it. Good for you. All right, guys. So that's what I've got for today. Thank you all so much for being here. I do appreciate you spending some of your precious, precious time with me. Everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out.